Alright, here we go with number 2. So after doing number 1, you've noticed that we're really reviewing 4.1 and 4.4, alright, for this first part of 4.5. This is part 1, by the way. Alright, so number 2, we have g of x equals x squared minus 4 over x squared minus 2x minus 8. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to factor this thing. Alright, and on top is the difference of perfect squares. So that's going to be x plus 2 times x minus 2. And on the bottom, that factors to x plus 2 times x minus 4. Alright, we're just going to hold it right there for a moment, and we're going to go after that domain. Alright, so the domain is where our denominator should not be 0. Alright, so x plus 2 should not be 0, and x minus 4 shouldn't be 0. In other words, x won't be negative 2, and x will not be 4. So our domain should look a little something like this. Alright, so now it's time for our x-intercepts, y-intercepts, and the rest. And what we're going to do is we're going to go up here and we're going to reduce this thing. So we notice we could cross out these x plus 2's. Alright, we're left with x minus 2 over x minus 4. That is reduced. Alright, so going after our x-intercept, that's where we let our y equal 0. Or in this case, since it's a rational function, we could just let the numerator equal 0. You're going to get the same results. So that's where x minus 2 equals 0, or x equals 2. So our x-intercept is going to be 2, 0. And now for the y-intercept, that's where we're going to let x equal 0. And you could use the factored form if you want. So that would be 0 minus 2 over 0 minus 4, which is negative 2 over negative 4, which is 1/2 positive. Alright, so our y-intercept is 0, 1/2. Alright, let's take a look at these asymptotes now. Again, the vertical asymptote is where our denominator equals 0. Now we have that from up above. We want to be careful though, right? We've got x equals 4. It's going to be our only vertical asymptote. The reason why x equals negative 2 is not 1 is because that got crossed out up at the very top. So we're going to make a special note here that we have a break, right? And that's at x equals negative 2, right? So that won't be a vertical asymptote, but it will be a break. Alright, on to our horizontal asymptotes. Let's take a look, or our oblique asymptote. Alright, so let's look at the powers of the numerator and the denominator. We notice that they're the same. Alright, so since they're the same, we're going to have a horizontal asymptote. So the degree of the numerator equals the degree of the denominator. And so our horizontal asymptote is going to look like y equals something, right? Some number, y equals b, they like to call it. All right, so we have to do a little bit of work. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our factored form, and we are going to literally do a division, right? So x minus 4 into x minus 2. And when you do that, x times 1, right? 1 times x gives you x, right? That's what you're focusing on. So that's x minus 4. When you multiply through by 1, you want to subtract these guys. Make sure you're good at your subtractions. Negative 2 minus negative 4. That's like negative 2 plus 4. And that gives you a positive 2. And we're done with that. So our remainder is 2 over x minus 4. And as x goes to infinity, this fraction goes to 0. And we don't have to worry about that. So our number is simply the 1. All right, so y equaling b is actually y equals 1. All right, so that's our horizontal asymptote. Since we have one, that means we don't have an oblique asymptote. All right, let's do one more.